Last Christmas, my girlfriend got me this bucket list poster of 100 movies to watch. It's pretty cool, got some good stuff on here, but the problem is, I've seen like 90% of the movies because I watch way too many movies.
Not to worry.
She came out with a genius solution. I am to rewatch all the movies before I can check them off the list. So let's do a little. That means I have to watch 8.3 movies a month, or just under 2 a week.
Now that's f***ing dope, huh?
So I'm basically halfway through this list, 49 movies completed, which is pretty good. I reckon I'll be able to complete this challenge with time to spare. Check out my letterbox for a complete list and rankings of the movies that I've seen. I may want to change a few of these before the end of the year, so this list is not gospel.
Let's get into the news! Got the juice, but I got corona.
This movie is an absolute classic. The Big Lebowski is about Jeff Bridges' character, the Dude, who is pulled into a hilarious adventure as he tries to find the kidnapped wife of a man who has the same name as him.
His name is Lebowski? That's your name, dude.
This movie is crazy and all over the place, with so many characters and settings, and not really following a normal narrative structure. I'm actually surprised about how much the general public loves this film. Not because I don't think it's amazing, but I'm shocked that a movie so manic and all over the place can be appreciated by the average film watcher. The cast is absolutely incredible. Jeff Bridges, John Goodman, Philip Seymour Hoffman, and Julianne Moore giving some amazing, unforgettable performances. And I also need to make an apology. In my review for Reservoir Dogs, I said that Steve Buscemi hadn't had any good roles other than Reservoir Dogs. That was a lie, as his role in The Big Lebowski is exceptional. I hope this is the only retraction I have to make in making this series, but I have a feeling that after rewatching it, I'm gonna have to apologize for my treatment of Snatch. Anyway, The Big Lebowski is amazing, so quotable, and so rewatchable, with so many hidden jokes within. 4.5 stars. This was made by the Coen brothers, two men responsible for some of the best films in cinema. I may make a video about their filmography one day, just add it to the list of directors I keep talking about making videos about.
Got the juice, but I got corona.
Mary and Max is such a sweet and heartbreaking story about two loners who befriend each other by sending letters to the other side of the globe. Both characters are so well crafted with heartbreaking problems. Mary being a lonely 8-year-old girl who is made fun of for a birthmark on her forehead, and Max being a 44-year-old obese man who has autism. The depiction of autism in this film is great, being very realistic and not being just the butt of the joke. It reminds me of the book The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, which has a great depiction of autism. This film was made with stop-motion animation, which I love. Stop motion is such a beautiful art form, where the filmmakers take painstaking time to craft and model to make the film. I love how this is an animated movie designed for an adult audience, which you don't really see outside of anime and comedies like Family Guy. But sadly, this movie wasn't perfect. Even though it had a short 92-minute runtime, it seemed to drag a lot, really being bogged down with unimportant conversations between the two characters through their letters. But I do recognize that these conversations are important to make us care for the characters and their problems, so maybe it seems to be a balancing act that I don't think was pulled off perfectly. I did still enjoy it and would recommend the film to anyone who likes stop motion animation. 3.5 stars. But if you want great stop motion films targeted towards adults, I would recommend Anomalisa or Isle of Dogs. Both these are exceptional stop motion films with great characters and adult themes.
Got the juice, but I got corona.
After watching Parasite last year, I've been trying to get into more Korean cinema, Oldboy being on my watch list for quite a while, so I'm so glad I finally got around to watching this. And damn, what a masterpiece. I was on the edge of my seat the entire watch. It is about a man who was kidnapped for 15 years, and is to hunt down the man who did it to him and find out why. Basically every part of this film is incredible. Excellent acting, good original plot, and a great score. This movie is great about getting the audience into the head of the main character and to empathize with his situation. And obviously, everyone who's already seen this movie would know that the ending is super hard-hitting and emotional. Don't worry, I won't spoil it, but I will say that my one issue with the ending of the film is I don't think the problem that they're facing is actually that big of a problem. Maybe I'm just red-pilled as fuck, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. Sue me. Me and my roommate also guessed the ending during the film, so maybe that's why it wasn't so hard-hitting. I should change my channel to Two Detective. I've given this 4.5 stars, as I feel the ending wasn't as hard-hitting for me as it was for most people. It might go to a 5 later on a rewatch though. And obviously there is maybe one of the best choreographed fight scenes in film history in the hallway fight scene. It is up there with the trailer park fight scene in Kill Bill. Spectacular.
Got the juice, but I got corona.
I love mob movies. The Irishman being one of my favorite movies of 2019, and Goodfellas being one of my favorite films ever. But The Godfather is a must-watch for the genre. Marlon Brando and Al Pacino are absolutely amazing in this incredible film about family, crime, and betrayal. Everyone knows this film is great. I'm not breaking any new ground over here. It did win Best Picture after all. I also watched The Godfather Part 2 while I was at it, which is almost as good as the first one. A lot of people believe it's better than the first one though, an opinion I can respect, but I disagree. I feel Marlon Brando brings so much to the first film, and he isn't in the sequel. Robert De Niro is in the sequel though. the first film that De Niro and Pacino are both in, I believe. Both powerhouse actors that I feel contemporary cinema is missing. The score for both films is so iconic as well, being so fitting for the mood and the setting. It is one of those scores that really makes a film what it is. Without it, I feel the film would be much worse, similar to Star Wars or Lord of the Rings. I gave both films 5 stars. So amazing, and they complement each other so well. I haven't bothered watching part 3, which I've heard is a pile of shit. Maybe one day I could cringe through it, but it's 3 hours long. I can't watch a movie for 3 hours for a meme. I refuse.
Got the juice, but I got corona.
Before this, I'd never seen a Bruce Lee film. Just never getting around to it, you know? And honestly, I'm just not impressed. Enter the Dragon was alright, I guess. A martial arts spy film about Bruce Lee infiltrating a drug operation on an island, all the while entering a martial arts tournament. The best part of the film was the choreography, which was very impressive. But it does pale in comparison to some of the modern films like John Wick and The Raid. I couldn't really empathize with any of the characters, as they're also two-dimensional and flat, with little personality or relatability. Before watching this film, my only experience with Bruce Lee was his portrayal in the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Joe Rogan, who really respects Bruce Lee, was upset at how he was made fun of in that film. But from what I've seen, it seems kinda accurate. I don't know.
There's a thing in the movie where I felt like they made Bruce Lee seem like a buffoon. And I'm like, ooh, I don't think he was ever really like that. Like, this is like kind of an important historical figure for martial arts. And I get it's just a crazy Quentin Tarantino movie. And I get it. The end of the movie did not, I mean, spoiler alert, I don't want to say what happened, but he takes liberties for entertainment's sake with a lot of different things.
Yeah.
But with that one, I was like, ooh.
Another thing that really annoyed me was that most of the film had dubbed dialogue, which is very frustrating. The dialogue never lined up with the mouth movements. It made me think I was watching some crappy dubbed anime.
Hey, I know. I'll use my trusty frying pan as a drying pan.
I've heard this dubbing is frequent in Bruce Lee films, so I guess this is a critique on his entire filmography. I've given this 2.5 stars, and I can't see myself ever watching this again. And if this is all Bruce Lee films have in store, I'm not looking forward to seeing his other stuff.
Got the juice, but I got corona.
Back to good movies. Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying About and Love the Bomb. It's one of Stanley Kubrick's best films, and I'd even say it's my favorite one. It is about a rogue American general during the Cold War who orders the nuclear destruction of the USSR, and the American president must try to recall the planes to avoid mutual destruction. These very serious ideas are played off as a comedy, even though no one in the film is actually cracking jokes. Kubrick makes the film so serious and ridiculous that you just can't help laughing.
You bully, you son of a you sell you guy, not tasting about him before, hey? You war machine, boy. Gentlemen, you can't fight in here, this is the war room.
This is shot in black and white, which fits the setting and the time frame well, but maybe I would have enjoyed this film more if it was in colour. I don't really understand what adds to a film when it's in black and white, just being artsy for no reason. The themes presented about the merits of nuclear weapons are very interesting, talking about the deterrent created based on the mutual destruction, and the idea that no one would use a nuclear bomb, as they would be too scared to have one used against them. I am from New Zealand, where we have a ban on nuclear weapons, so I'm kinda looking at this as an outsider. Even this movie can't convince me to love the bomb, but I do love Dr. Strangelove. 5 stars.
Got the juice, but I got corona.
This movie is kinda dumb. I don't know why people like it. The Usual Suspects is a pretty generic crime thriller about a team of criminals doing a heist, all set up by the criminal mastermind Kaiser Sose. But who is Kaiser Sose? This movie is so deep. Kaiser Sose could be anyone. No, it was so obvious. So either I'm the smartest motherfucker alive, or this movie isn't that deep. I guessed the plot twist straight away, and I was hoping for another twist that would twist on my twist, but it turned out the twist was that the movie was just average as hell.
World famous Jackrabbit Slim's Twist Contest.
Kevin Spacey's performance was as good as it always is, and other than that, no one else really stood out to me, not even Benicio del Toro, who usually gives a great performance. This was also directed by Bryan Singer, who seems to be following in the footsteps of Roman Polanski, but doesn't even give us the decency to make some of the best films in cinema. Come on, Bryan, you're only allowed to touch kids if you're a talented director. Get with the program. I just noticed that I've seen most of Bryan Singer's filmography. Best director video coming soon, I guess. Even if I make those anymore, I don't know. I really need to stop being lazy and make videos. Wait, will we? Oh, 2.5 stars. A good time waster, but turn your brain off for this one.
Got the juice, but I got corona.
Oh boy, I feel like I might get some shit for this one, so that's why I hit it near the end of the video. I don't really care if it's spirited away. I can recognize the breathtaking animation though. 2D animation is a dying art form, only Japan is really still working with it, which I do really appreciate. The incredible fluid motion is very impressive, being able to create some amazing shots. But that's kinda where my appreciation for this film stops. I really don't like the whiny main character. Her shrill voice was so annoying. I didn't like the dragon boy, or the witch lady, or the talking frog, or the other witch lady. There was really not many main characters I actually liked. I did like the design of Kamaji though. His many arms were cool, and I liked the soot creatures who worked for him. And No-Face was neat. If the movie was more about No-Face and less about the witches and the Dragon Boy, then maybe I'd like this movie a lot better. The best part of the film was the first 10 minutes, especially when the main character and her parents walk into town. Very thrilling and exciting. But frankly, this is the second time I've seen this film, and I can't see myself watching it a third time. I gave it 3 stars, which might be generous, but the animation is gorgeous. I haven't seen any other Miyazaki films, but many people consider this his best film, so I don't know why I would even watch his other stuff. Maybe I'll try to watch Princess Mononoke. People seem to like that one. We'll see.
Got the juice, but I got corona.
There's another movie made by the Coen brothers, but unlike The Big Lebowski, No Country for Old Men is played super serious and is a thrilling drama. This movie is pretty outstanding, with an epic game of cat and mouse, as Josh Brolin's character finds a big bag of money, and is on the run from Javier Bardem. This film is spectacular, with a constant feeling of dread for the audience, with so many suspenseful scenes where anything could happen. I love Josh Brolin showing his emotions through his body language and facial expressions, rather than just talking the whole time. The first 15 minutes has almost no dialogue, and it's so enjoyable. One of my favourite beginnings of any movie ever. The main problem I have with this film is I feel the ending is very lackluster, and doesn't close off the movie in a nice way. I feel like the first 90% of the movie is superb. With a different ending, I feel this movie could be one of my favourite films of all time. Tommy Lee Jones is great in this movie as well. But every time I watch it, I keep thinking he's gonna do the hen house, dog house, outhouse speech, but I remember that's from The Fugitive.
What I want out of each and every one of you is a hard target search of every gas station, residence, warehouse, farmhouse, hen house, outhouse, or dog house in that area.
No Country for Old Men is exceptional, and I would definitely recommend it. I've given it 4.5 stars. Coens are really a powerhouse in the industry, making hit after hit, and I just can't wait for more. Well, that's the list for this month. What do you reckon? Do you agree with my ratings? If not, let me know in the comments. I'm working on a few videos at the moment, but who knows when they'll be out. 2 videos with Richard, my next Christopher Nolan video, and a video about my secret love for musicals, which will probably be the next one out.